Well, that was disappointing, I sighed, staring at the blue-green planet through our command deck viewport. Seriously? This is what Central Intelligence sent us to conquer? A watery rock with primitive bipeds? I am Captain Draax Vorlun of the Galactic Hegemony's 7th Conquest Fleet. 27 successful planetary subjugations under my belt, and they send me to this backwater solar system for what appears to be the easiest job of my career. Sir, preliminary scans indicate the dominant species has achieved basic space travel, rudimentary nuclear capabilities, and global communication networks, reported Lieutenant Plex, her 6 eyes blinking in sequence as she reviewed the data. However, they have no planetary defense shield, no antimatter weapons, and only a single pathetic orbital station. One orbital station? Not even a proper defense network? Commander Brill snorted, his nasal ridges flaring with amusement. This won't even qualify as a morning exercise. I drummed my talons against the command console. The Hegemony protocol dictated we should still perform standard conquest procedures, regardless of how primitive the opposition might be. Rules are rules, even for easy pickings. Very well. Target their largest population center. Let's give them the standard wake-up call. One hypersonic kinetic round should be sufficient to demonstrate our superiority. The weapons officer, Junior Commander Talls, programmed the coordinates with barely concealed boredom. Target locked, sir. Their city called. New York. Firing in 3, 2, 1. From our ship, the inevitable dominance, a single projectile launched toward Earth, breaking through the atmosphere in seconds before impacting the harbor near the city. The resulting explosion sent massive waves crashing into shorelines, toppled several structures, and left a considerable crater where part of the harbor had been. Impact successful. Minimal resistance detected, Talls reported with a yawn. Shall I prepare the standard surrender broadcast? I was about to agree when Plex suddenly jerked upright in her station. Sir. Multiple fast-moving objects approaching our position. They appear to be missiles? Missiles? From where? I demanded, suddenly alert. From everywhere, sir. They're coming from land installations, submarines, and are those passenger aircraft launching weapons? Before I could process this information, the first impacts rocked our ship. Alarms blared across the command deck. Shields holding at 82%, shouted Commander Brill, his previous amusement vanished. How are they penetrating our defenses? Their technology shouldn't be capable of this. Another violent shudder ran through the ship as more missiles found their mark. Sir, Plex's voice had lost all its professional calm, they're broadcasting a message on all frequencies. Put it through, I ordered, gripping my command chair as the ship rocked again. A stern human voice filled our command deck. Alien vessel, this is Admiral Tanya Blackwood of Earth Defense Coalition. That was your only free shot. Now it's our turn. I felt my blood run cold. Perhaps this conquest wouldn't be so straightforward after all. #only one ship? You bombed us? Adorable. Watch this. Part 2, Unexpected Resistance, how is this possible? I roared, slamming my fist on the tactical display. They're supposed to be primitive monkeys barely out of their trees. The inevitable dominance limped into the dark side of Earth's moon, seeking temporary shelter while we assessed the damage. Shields down to 41%, 2 propulsion arrays offline, and our main weapon system requiring significant recalibration. Lieutenant Plex nervously brought up the intelligence report. Sir, it appears our initial assessment was incomplete. The humans have been deliberately concealing their military capabilities. They maintain an outward appearance of division and technological limitation, but under the surface. Under the surface, they've been preparing for extraterrestrial contact, Commander Brill finished grimly. And not the peaceful kind. The tactical display showed footage captured during our retreat. Human vessels appearing from underwater bases. Satellites transforming into weapons platforms. Civilian aircraft deploying advanced countermeasures. Play the intercepted broadcast again, I ordered. The main screen flickered to life, showing a human female with dark skin, silver-streaked hair tied back severely, and eyes that reflected the cold calculation of a veteran strategist. This is General Mira Johansson of the United Earth Defense Force to all command posts. First contact protocols have now shifted to Scenario Row. I repeat, we are at Scenario Row. Deploy all Phase 2 assets immediately. Remember your training, people. We've been preparing for this day for 60 years. I felt my crest deflate slightly. 60 years? They'd been expecting us? Sir. Junior Commander Talls called out. They're launching something from their polar regions. The tactical display showed dozens of objects breaking atmosphere, but not heading toward us. There. Deploying a satellite network, Plex said with growing alarm. It's creating some kind of energy grid around their planet. Before we could analyze further, 3 small human vessels appeared from behind lunar debris, launched what looked like glorified mining charges, and disappeared again. The explosions weren't powerful, but they were precisely targeted at our already damaged shield generators. How did they know exactly where to hit us? Brill whispered. The communication array chimed. Incoming transmission, sir, Plex announced. General Johansson's face appeared on screen again, now with a slight smile playing at her lips. Captain Vorlun, is it? I must thank you for the bombing. It gave us excellent data on your shield harmonics. We've been studying your approach since you entered our solar system. Your cloaking technology needs work. She leaned closer to the camera. You have 2 options, withdraw immediately, or we'll show you what humans do to uninvited guests. You have 10 minutes to decide. The transmission cut. For the first time in my 27 campaigns, I felt genuinely uncertain about the outcome. #only one ship? You bombed us? Adorable. Watch this. Part 3, the turning point, retreat? From primitives with missiles and mining charges? Absolutely not. I snarled, standing tall before my command crew. The Hegemony has conquered civilizations far more advanced than these humans. We will not be the first fleet to return in disgrace. Despite my bravado, I noticed several officers exchanging worried glances. Their doubt only fueled my determination. Bring the secondary weapons array online. Target their orbital defense grid and their polar launch facilities simultaneously. Commander Brill, deploy our hunter-seekers to neutralize those irritating small vessels. As my crew scrambled to follow orders, I opened a channel to General Johansson. 2 could play at psychological warfare. General, your resistance is admirable but futile. The inevitable dominance is merely the vanguard of the Hegemony. I'm offering you one opportunity to surrender before I reduce your military installations to ash. Johansson's face appeared on screen, looking remarkably untroubled. Captain Vorlun, I was hoping you'd choose this option. Humanity has been waiting for a proper field test. Before I could respond, she vanished from the screen and Lieutenant Plex shouted, energy surge from Earth's oceans. Massive signatures emerging worldwide. The tactical display showed what appeared to be underwater installations opening across Earth's oceans. From them rose sleek vessels that accelerated toward space at impossible speeds. That's not. Those ships shouldn't be able to. Commander Brill stammered. Atmospheric compression drives, Plex whispered. They've mastered gravity manipulation technology. Impossible. I roared, but the evidence was undeniable as dozens of human warships surrounded our position. I ordered our hunter-seekers to engage, but these new human vessels moved with uncanny precision, evading our automated weapons while systematically dismantling them. Sir, they're using some kind of phase-shifting technology. Our targeting systems can't lock on properly, Talls reported frantically. As I watched in mounting horror, the human vessels formed a precise geometric pattern around us. Each ship simultaneously fired what appeared to be a simple beam of light. Where the beams intersected, reality itself seemed to distort. Sir! They're creating a localized space-time distortion field. Plex cried. It's interfering with our power core. The ship lurched violently as systems failed throughout the vessel. Emergency lighting bathed the command deck in a blood-red glow. Through the viewport, I watched General Johansson's flagship approach. Her voice came through our failing communication system, calm and clinical. Consider this demonstration complete, Captain. Your ship is disabled, your weapons offline. Now, about that surrender we discussed. I swallowed hard, my pride warring with survival instinct. All units, stand down. Prepare for diplomatic negotiations. Hashtag only one ship? You bombed us? Adorable. Watch this. Hashtag part 4. Humbling conclusion. The once mighty inevitable dominance now floated helplessly in Earth orbit, surrounded by the impressive fleet that had emerged from humanity's oceans. My command crew stood rigid with tension as we prepared to receive a boarding party from General Johansson's flagship. I served under Admiral Krex during the Cygnus conflict, Commander Brill muttered beside me. Even the Drovlani didn't humiliate us like this. I couldn't disagree. In all my campaigns, I had never experienced such a comprehensive defeat. The airlock hissed open, and General Johansson entered our command deck, flanked by 4 soldiers in powered exoskeletons. I braced myself for gloating, for harsh demands, for the treatment typically reserved for failed conquerors. Captain Vorlun, Johansson nodded respectfully. Your ship's medical bay is being prepared to receive your wounded. We've analyzed your life support requirements and adjusted accordingly. I blinked all 3 of my eyes in succession. You're treating our casualties? Of course. War might be necessary sometimes, but cruelty never is. She gestured to one of her officers, who stepped forward with what appeared to be a data device. This contains our terms, but they might surprise you. I accepted the device cautiously, scanning its contents with growing astonishment. This isn't a surrender document. It's a diplomatic proposal? Trade agreements? Cultural exchange programs? Johansson smiled slightly. We've known about the Galactic Hegemony for decades, Captain. Your conquest fleets aren't exactly subtle to those who know how to look. We could have destroyed your ship entirely, but what would that accomplish except guarantee more fleets would come? So instead you offer partnership? I couldn't keep the disbelief from my voice. Humanity has always excelled at turning enemies into allies, she replied. Isn't that preferable to endless conflict? Though make no mistake, her voice hardened momentarily, any future aggression will be met with the full force you've only glimpsed today. As repair crews from both species began working together, I found myself on an observation deck with Johansson, watching Earth rotate beneath us. The damage to New York was already being addressed by swarms of construction drones. Your species is not what we expected, I admitted. Few truly are, when you look beyond assumptions, she replied. The universe taught humanity a harsh lesson long ago: appear weak when you are strong. Prepare in silence. And always have contingency plans. Looking at the planet below, this simple world that had thoroughly outmaneuvered the mighty hegemony, I couldn't help but laugh. Only one ship? I mused. You bombed us? Adorable. Watch this. Those should have been my lines. We'll be watching with great interest, Captain Vorlun, Johansson said with a knowing smile. The hegemony might discover that partnership with Earth opens doors conquest never could. As our crews worked together below, I realized this defeat might ultimately prove more valuable than any victory in my career. The Hegemony was about to learn a new way forward, courtesy of a species we had grievously underestimated.